Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode slash video of Smart Boy Tristan, and in today's video we're going to be doing what if Germany had an empire. This is voted on by you guys. It was originally the United States, which I made a video on not too long ago, but then you guys made the vote change to Germany like a few days later, like after I made the video. So now we're doing Germany. Okay, so first up, who Germany decides to attack Austria. So in this scenario, NATO obviously doesn't exist, and Germany is going to be buffed. I think they're about 25th in the world. So in this scenario, we'll just say they're in top 10 of just about, I don't know, like in the top 10. So probably stronger than Italy and France, but not as strong as like the UK and Russia. So let's just get into it. So German troops go in through the Bavarian region. They slowly curve around this entire area. Germany is going towards the capital, Vienna, which they eventually take. And Austria decides to surrender over to Germany. And this is the peace treaty. Obviously. Why would Germany not take everything? Next, they're going to attack the Benelux region. Belgium, Luxembourg, and the Netherlands. So Belgium is the strongest out of all of these, even though the Netherlands has a better economy. So Germany will decide to go after the Netherlands first, since it's the weakest. Takes these islands right here, and uses them as a way to get onto the mainland. I don't even know what's happening there, but okay. They encircle a large amount of troops in the northern part of the Netherlands, but Belgium and Luxembourg actually push back against Germany in the south. This is quickly followed up by Germany taking all of the Netherlands. Germany then kicks them out of Germany and starts invading even more into Belgium and Luxembourg is taken. Belgium decides to surrender so they don't have to completely die, and let's see how this looks. And next, Germany decides to attack Czechia and Denmark. They're kind of not even remotely close to each other, so we'll see how this works, but probably won't work well in Denmark or Czechia's favor. So Germany invades straight up into Denmark, but it only takes them 5 hours before they surrender, instead of 6 like they did in World War II. However, Czechia, it takes a lot longer for them to surrender. It takes them a few months instead of 5 hours. They invade the Sudetenland, but eventually get stuck in a stalemate. That is until Germany decides to invade Poland. Okay, now Poland is actually a pretty strong country. A lot of people don't know that, but I'm pretty sure it's ranked higher than Germany, like in real life. So it'll be pretty hard for them to invade them. But they eventually encircle Prague. Pretty sure Prague is over in the middle. Okay, so Prague is actually up here, and Warsaw I know is in the middle, or maybe towards the southern area. Yeah, it's over here, there. So it'll be pretty hard for Germany to invade them. But Czechia still here. They just don't have really a government. So Germany decides to push in from right here, trying to take their coastline, which goes successfully. Poland has a counteroffensive in Czechia, pushing back the Germans. The Germans start doing a bullish technique to try and get closer to their capital, and they thicken the front line. They push back against Poland and Czechia, encircling a large amount of troops right here, and eventually taking all the coast. Germany advances their spearhead even further. They attempt an encirclement, but it fails, and Poland pushes back, almost completely cutting through the spearhead. But Germany gets more troops from south, which is also bad, because it also means Poland can push back. Poland retakes Prague, but Germany encircles a large amount of troops, and slowly they surrender. Germany can push back, since they had to draw in troops from down here, and eventually Czechia just decides to stay out of the war. Germany uses this new front to push even further into Poland. They get really close to a giant encirclement, but there's still a narrow passageway. Eventually, they encircle almost the entirety of Poland's military, and they decide to surrender. Now let's take a look at a peace treaty. I know this looks bad, but just gonna move on up to here, I guess. Germany's gonna invade Norway, Slovakia, Hungary, and Slovenia. These are all relatively weak countries compared to Germany. I don't even think Norway, it has a military, but it's not like really that strong. Maybe in this universe it's stronger because it's like not protected by NATO, but yeah, it's really not that strong of a country. Oh yeah, hold up. Oh wait, Greenland isn't on this map. Never mind. It would belong to Germany though, or maybe it'd be set free. I don't know. Anyway, so these are puppets as well. Czechia, Poland. Puppets. So they'll basically just be on Germany's side, like in every war. I'm gonna make this a lighter color actually, because it's like really close to the puppet color. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Anyway, so Germany goes straight for Slovenia, so it can get rid of the sea access, which goes pretty well. And now they have access to the Adriatic. They go after Hungary, which I think is actually decently strong. And Slovakia. Yeah, this is Slovakia, the smaller one's Slovenia. They use Poland as a way to go around the border. But Germany slows down quite a bit whenever they reach Hungary. But they're still pretty weak compared to them, so it's not that much slowed down. They create a bulge. This is the Battle of the Bulge Part 2, and in this one Germany actually wins. And they split the country in two using a spearhead. And they surrender. Now moving up to Norway, pretty much the same as World War II. They get invaded from the south. They know that Germany doesn't really want to attack them. They just want like their natural resources. Go up the coast, avoiding the mountains. Unless I don't remember if the mountains are on the coast or if the mountains are all inland, but I'm pretty sure the mountains are all inland. So they take all the valuable land, take more of the coasts here. And Norway surrenders. Now let's take a look at a peace treaty. Yep, yeah, that's pretty much expected from Germany. Except now, instead of Czechia being a puppet, they're just gonna fully annex them into the country. Okay, that is a peace treaty for that war. Basically, Norway's only viable areas, except for maybe here, are taken, basically rendering them useless, so they just turn them into a puppet. And this Polish puppet was united with the Slovakian and Hungarian puppet. Anyway, so a new alliance is formed with Sweden, the UK, France, Portugal, Italy, and Greece. I kind of wanted to include Russia, but I feel like they wouldn't join the UK and France and Italy and Portugal. But who knows? Maybe if NATO wasn't ever created, then maybe they might join. But now Germany is going to go at war with the Balkans, which is basically just Romania, Croatia, Montenegro, Kosovo, which really is just a part of Serbia. Probably not Albania, North Macedonia, and Bulgaria. So let's color them, except for a couple of them. Okay, so Bulgaria joins the side of Germany. I feel like Serbia wouldn't be on the same side as them, but they're all being attacked, so I don't know if they'd be yellow or if they'd just be blue. I'm just gonna put them as blue because it's more simple. Okay, so Romania is the strongest. Bulgaria and Serbia are about the same strength. So Germany goes into Croatia, mostly sticking to the coastline, maneuvering their way around Croatia till they hit Serbia and making a spike, splitting them in two. Bulgaria goes after North Macedonia. They go a little bit into Serbia, but since they're about the same strength, it doesn't really work out as well. They go into Romania just a little bit. Germany goes into Serbia and into Romania as well. Croatia taking over, and now Germany's going into Bosnia. Romania goes into Bulgaria just a little bit, or quite a bit, because they're like 10 ranks ahead of them in militarily. Bulgaria goes even more into Serbia, and they get rid of their troops in Romania. Germany keeps going down the coast. They aren't really having that much pushback, considering the fact that they're a lot stronger than most of these countries, and Bosnia is completely taken over. They then start a sideways front against Serbia and come into Montenegro from the north. Kosovo wants independence from Serbia, and they think that this is the perfect time to join the war against Serbia, which helps a little bit. Okay, yeah, they're like one of the weakest countries in the world, but they're just gonna join. They just want independence, really. They don't want land, so they don't really need to fight. But they go a little bit into Serbia. Bulgaria goes even more into Serbia as well. They go a little bit into Romania. Romania takes even more and starts to do a spearhead. I think Sofia is actually right here. Let me see. Nope, never mind. I was completely wrong. It's over here, like right about there. I just thought it was near the coast for some reason. Anyway, Bulgaria keeps pushing into Serbia. Germany keeps pushing into Serbia. Romania pushes back against the Hungarian puppet and start to take some of the land from it. Romania is definitely carrying this team, as they're like the only one not fully collapsed right now. But eventually they agree to peace. So let's see how that goes. Okay, so I don't live in the Balkans, but I'm pretty sure I've managed to offend every single person that lives in the Balkans, except for maybe Kosovoans and maybe Bulgarians, maybe some Croatians and also Romanians. But besides that, Serbians, Bosnians, and maybe Croatians. Yeah, sorry. Well, you kind of lost in the war, so if you guys don't know, this is the Republic of Srpska, which wants to join Serbia, or wants independence from Bosnia and Herzegovina. I'm pretty sure they want to join Serbia, though. But yeah, that's basically what this giant squiggly mess is. Anyway, before I make any more people mad, let's just move on from that. Okay, well, next is everyone's favorite part, and that is the part where Germany declares war on France, and that eventually just makes everybody join. And yeah, this doesn't look too good. Yeah, that doesn't look too good either. Someone who does come to help Germany is Turkey and Russia, who then declares war on Ukraine. Now I think I'm about to offend pretty much every single European. Let me just add Belarus to the war. Although Bulgaria is in the war. Kosovo won't join though, because they're like fresh off the death. Anyway, this is about to be a giant war. So since the war started with France and Germany, it's gonna start with France and Germany. So Germany goes through Benelux to take France. In World War II, it took them 44 days, but that's because Germany was pretty strong. I still think Germany is stronger than France, but France has support from the UK, Italy, and Portugal. So they're not too underpowered, compared to Germany at least. But they still lose a ton of land. And they begin to use a spiked or spearhead to reach Paris. Eventually becomes a double spearhead, and it encircles Paris. I think that's where Paris is, right? Or it might be up here. Let's just say that Paris is right here in this universe. And France is still here, but they don't have a capital. And a country without a capital really isn't too helpful, especially if they're in a war. And then they start going with, like, Italy. They start attacking Italy. And over here, well, it's Russia doing Russian things. Russia takes Crimea, all of Crimea. They use Belarus to invade into Ukraine, for also invading into Ukraine themselves, while also supplying Germany and Bulgaria. I'm going to make my marker bigger. Now Poland is getting in on the action as they take this side, and Ukraine is basically surrounded, which is not a good thing. All they have is this sea, and they can't even use it because of Turkey is guarding it. Speaking of Turkey, they're gonna start an invasion of Greece, who is considerably weaker than them. Just want to note that. Oh yeah, let me get these islands. Oh, yeah, let's just say Cyprus is here, and they get kablooied. I don't know if people consider Turkey Europe, but we're gonna consider it Europe. I mean, it's on the European map in like this app that I use to get maps. But anyway, they keep pushing in, and Bulgaria pushes in, and boom. Now let's go back over here. We see a little bit of pushback from France. pretty sure they regain their capital, but they don't really push them out of the country. I know there's mountains here, but we're just gonna ignore them, or just go around them, I guess, as they meet up into here and meet up with this force in France. Switzerland is in the way, but no one attacks Switzerland, so they just go around all the mountains. Ukraine is kind of dying, because with Russia it's now a full-scale invasion instead of a partial invasion. Plus they also have Germany, Poland, well, puppet of Poland, and Belarus invading it, with some help from Turkey, like soldiers. And they basically are running out of supplies because, well, they can't get any supplies, and their ports are all gone. Ukraine is the first to surrender. Turkey goes even further into Greece, eventually forcing them to surrender, so they do. And, okay, well, we all know how this happened back in World War II, so it's kind of going to happen again. Russia's going to invade Finland, but they just, for some reason, can't invade further than this. And, yeah, that's the furthest that they can invade, which is basically what's happened in history in World War II. However, Germany invades to Sweden. I don't know. I think either the capital's here, or it's here, or it's somewhere down here. They get invaded up through. But other than that, yeah. Although Germany is seeing some pushback. If they push them out of here. Italy starts pushing into Germany. And eventually, Italy pushes them out of Italy. Which is not a good thing if you're trying to invade Italy. They invade even more into Germany. And this isn't, I mean, they're not in deep trouble, but it's not looking so good over here for Germany. I mean, they still have a considerable portion of France, except they don't anymore. That's right, they get pushed all the way back to the border, and they get encircled. A large portion of troops gets encircled, and France actually starts to push into Germany. France starts to push into Germany, well, really Benelux. But not to fear, the Russians are here, and all of that was undone. And yeah, except Italy still has a little bit in to Germany, and the Turkish are here as well now. Let's see what happens to Italy. Sicily is taken over, and then they start going up the boot, make a naval landing, and even more naval landings. They take Sardinia. I think this one's Corsica. Another coastal invasion, and yet another coastal invasion. The Russians are going to try and push even more. After several months, they barely push in. However, Germany is having a field day in Sweden. And they come into Finland, too, to help the Russians as well. Germany is slowly sweeping into Finland, or Sweden, and eventually Sweden, it's just Finland up there now. Sweden isn't really there, like, in the war. The British attempt a naval landing known as E-Day, goes pretty well. They use a spearhead / bulge technique, Battle of the Bulge Part 3, except it starts to fail, because there's a spy who tells the Germans this. They want the British to be off guard, but they eventually encircle the ships and invade them from behind, and a huge battalion of naval ships and soldiers all die. Germany goes even further into France, taking the capital again, and they're just out of supplies and resources, so they just decide to surrender, which is great news for Germany, as they can now focus in on Italy. And Germany finally attacks Italy again. It goes pretty well. They connect up with all the coastal invasions, or they connect up at least. Oh yeah, I forgot this needs to be filled in. And Italy is kind of dying. They eventually capture Rome, and Italy surrenders. Let's see who's left. Finland, the UK, and Portugal. Portugal decides to opt out of the war. Finland decides to surrender. And the UK, all by itself, just decides to surrender as well. Basically, just saying that it's over. This is our war, and now let's take a look at a peace treaty. Okay, this is the peace treaty, so let me just explain it. So Germany gets the northern part of France and the northern part of Italy. Italy doesn't really lose anything. France becomes a puppet state. Portugal doesn't lose anything. The UK, well, I mean, the UK and Portugal have to pay war reparations. Finland becomes a Russian puppet. Sweden unites with the Norwegian puppet to become I guess just Norwegian puppet. Germany gets southern Sweden, and the Polish puppet state gets some of Ukraine. Belarus gets a little bit of northern Ukraine. Russia gets most of this, including Crimea. Bulgaria gets northern Greece. Turkey gets a little bit of Greece and a bunch of these islands right here, all the islands here, including this one here and this one here, and Cyprus. And I think that's about it. So anyway, guys, I'm going to see you in the next one, and goodbye.